Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Sports Plug. We have Kinfolk and Nem with, of course, my friends, my Kinfolk and Nem, Ish, B, Reef, Napro, and GT. Can't say their government names because last week I got in trouble for that. So we're going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to keep with the nicknames this week and whatnot. So, first things first. Let's go ahead and start. Let's start it off and let's talk about this. Jada and August situation. Was it an entanglement? What y'all think?
I mean,
somebody got hurt. I mean, come on.
It depends on what you consider as an entanglement. I mean, this is the first time that I've ever seen or heard of someone consider themselves in an entanglement. I can't say that I've been technically entangled, my nigga.
What? What are you saying right now?
What are you talking about, bro?
I'm answering the question.
How are you answering the question? Tell me how you answering it.
What did he ask me? Have I ever been in an entanglement?
He said, "Was it an
entanglement?" I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is. So
how you gonna say you never been in?
I'm saying I don't know if I can tell you because I'm not really sure what an entanglement is.
All right, well, Javier, you said that you're gonna Google what an entanglement is. Please.
First of all, it's Xavier, so get it correct, sir. Do not call me that.
So it was reasonable for me to say I don't know what it is, and he has the dictionary ready. So fuck all y'all niggas.
Alrighty then. Anyway, we're going to get canceled before we even get started.
Goddamn right is rude.
An entanglement from Google says the action or effect of entangling or being entangled. So a sentence would be many dolphins die from entanglement in fishing nets.
Read the one under it.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, again, there's the other a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. I guess that's what I'm writing. So a complicated or compromising situation. I mean, that sounds about right. That sounds like an entanglement.
It was
not. Y'all agree?
It was not an entanglement. Let's just call it what it was. It was a situation where they decided they were going to take a break from their marriage, and she went and she had her own separate relationship. But for PR purposes, they're not going to call it what it is. They're going to say it was an entanglement. Because let's be honest, if they came out and said, "Hey, we decided we wanted to have an open marriage for a little bit," the backlash and all the talking would have been way more than what we have right now with an entanglement.
Hold on. What? First of all, they've already said that they had an open marriage already. What are you talking about?
But everybody acting like it's something new.
No, but that's the thing. Hold up. Thank you. Get them with a timeout. Flag on the play, 15-yard penalty, false start, all that. Hey, First of all, they've already said this years ago that they in an open relationship. And because of them being in Hollywood, you put them in compromising situations being actors and actresses, both of them. We've seen both parties do things on screen for their job purposes, correct? To where they probably had to, do things that probably, if we were in our relationships or whatnot, if we were in regular jobs, we wouldn't put up with our spouse at CVS, making out with their employees. You see what I'm saying? So like what they do Hollywood wise is a completely different lifestyle than what we do on an everyday basis, to where they probably saw it as in like, look, this is what we, this is how we get down. It's what we do relationship wise. So let's.
But there are plenty of people in Hollywood that don't have an open relationship. So that doesn't hold water.
Hey, you're correct, but there's also Hollywood is under a lot of hot water right now with what they doing in the, with the stuff that's going on in Hollywood. So it's just it's a ripple effect that's going on because what the media did is brought up old stuff and brought it to the forefront and tried to make it seem like this was the first time this is going on. But we've seen they had a track record of this going on for years, correct?
So why are we acting like this is new then? I don't understand why everybody acts like it's new.
Let me get in
Other
here.
than there must be people who don't know that they had an open relationship or whatever that was.
Let me get in here real quick, right? Let me get in here real quick. So at the end of the day, people don't realize a situation is happening until it's in their face, right? A trending topic happened with this entanglement shit, right? So they've been in an open marriage and stuff like that, but it's not really anybody's business until it's splattered everywhere, right? So now it's splattered everywhere. So now everybody knows their ins and outs of their relationship, right? So at the end of the day, let's just call it what it is, right? Jada got some dick on the side. It is what it is.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Greg. Let me ask you this. Because y'all making a good point of a lot of people have said that there's rumors around that this has been their relationship status, right? Is the backlash just because it was this guy, August or Og? Is that why everybody getting fired up?
No, it's
because
because
they thought it would have been somebody that looked better.
No, because August on that interview and spilling beans because he hurt. You know, he emotionally hurt and he over here trying to, you know, the reporter and let's be real. A lot of people are saying, well, that's how girls feel after a guy does them. You know, they go out and spill beans and they feel emotional. So that's what August was doing as a woman. So a lot of people are trying to justify like, oh,
as a man.
You know, August, hey, that's from what I've seen. A lot of people saying, hey, that's August is just showing his feelings. You know, so he has the right to come out and say this.
He is an R&B singer. What do you expect from him?
I'm just letting you know. Hey, I'm just letting you know from what I heard.
I'll be an
R&B singer. Come on.
Hey, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it tall. I'll be in my feelings too. I'm giving back shots. I'm blowing the back out of one of the baddest women in the industry. Of course, I'm gonna be in my feelings. She go right back to her husband.
But he knew what it was going in.
What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? Of course, I'm gonna be in my feelings because she went back to her.
That's what makes me mad about the whole situation. He already knew what it was. So how does it make any sense?
This is what I don't. Hold on. This is what I don't understand. How can you be upset about a married woman going back to her married man? I don't know this. I'm not understanding.
You are the side nigga. You can't be you not have caught feelings. Side nigga rules. I don't know side nigga rules.
That must be that light skin. That must be that light skin stuff or something.
Listen. Don't bring up that light skin shit, bro. It's not the platform. Anyway, it's not the platform for that. Anyways, at the end of the day, niggas call feelings. The vagina gotta be something in there. She gotta have the holy grail in that motherfucker.
This is Jada Pinkett Smith we're talking about here.
So. Hey, she got that Medusa.
Jada Pinkett. You probably looked at her eyes and missionary and shit like that. He probably got feelings. It happens.
How you going from back shots to missionary? That quick.
They switching positions. He was living at the crib. So they doing all types of positions.
He was living. Oh yeah, he was living. He was living with them. You get too comfortable. That's like
going on vacation with them and everything.
That's a fact. Facts. He was living with them.
I mean, they was going on vacay and everybody was smashing Jada. Ain't that a bitch?
Now, let's be respectful. Not everybody.
Nah, just him.
Everybody involved. Everybody involved. Don't take my words too far out of context now.
Damn, bro. Niggas caught feelings. It's all good, bro. He was fucking Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm sorry. She's bad. I'm just saying. It just is what it is.
I mean,
look at them beautiful ass eyes. He caught all the fucking. She probably burned sage in his room and all that shit. Like,
I'll say this to finish off everything that we're saying. Is it safe to say that Jada probably missed Tupac a little bit?
A little bit.
That's a reach.
Yeah,
it's a reach.
I agree. That's a reach.
That's a reach.
You're reaching on that one.
As far as it relates to this current situation,
yeah,
that's a reach.
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me take it back. Not to just this current situation, but just
I don't know.
Her not feeling complete in her relationship. That's why she had to go and get somebody younger right quick and go do a little something. That's how you feel. That's how you feel, Greg. We reaching like
a motherfucker, bro.
Anybody that's been in.
I'm just saying. I mean, I could kind of feel like that too.
Nah, I think it's just part of being in a really long-term relationship. You're gonna have periods where everybody's feeling good, feeling fine, and you're gonna have periods where y'all annoying each other. It's just part of it, and they've been together for a really long time. I think for them, it just works that they got this open thing, that every once in a while maybe you go out, do what you want to do, I do what I want to do, and we come back to it. At the end of the day, we both know that we want to be with each other for the rest of our life. So it's not like we're going out to have something to start a new family. We're just going out and doing our thing for a little bit and come back to it. I think that's just what it is.
And August stick to the script. That's all that was.
Stick to the script.
Stick to the script. He caught feelings. I ain't mad.
Feelings. Got mad. Sad.
Man, go out there and swing that meat, boy, and stop
you
crying.
can catch feelings.
Man, go out there and swing that meat.
There's nobody saying that you can't catch feelings, but even if you catch feelings, my nigga, you need to know you can't be just putting this shit all on blast.
You can't.
Hey,
you know what I mean? You know what?
Real quick.
Hey, y'all remember last episode, right? That nigga August in his feelings like, Will took my G.
I know
this nigga.
He took his job back.
The biggest issue is that he said something.
All right. Of course.
The biggest issue is that he said something.
And I will say this. Mariah Graham, she did say, y'all should have had a woman participate in this conversation, Rolly Eyes. Now, I'll say this. You might be a little correct on that one, but we don't. So back to what we're talking about.
Toxic.
Next time we'll definitely try to have a woman on. But for right now, we don't have topic. But to wrap up with this whole entanglement, what comes next?
What do you mean? What comes next?
What comes next? I mean, the relationship, of course, moves on. They move on, but what happens? What happens? Are we gonna get a fire album from August soon? Are we gonna?
He already got an album.
The album came out.
My bad. Hold on. That's my bad. Damn, I meant.
Y'all see
I meant. Are we gonna get a new movie from Will soon? I know August album came out around the same time this came out, so there's a lot of publicity coming out around his album. I apologize, my mistake. But is Will gonna go get it? Is he gonna make a new movie? Jada Pinkett, we're gonna see her in another girls trip because they had that girls movie and whatnot.
I hope not.
Let me ask you.
It was funny. It was a funny movie.
I want to know if this actually worked. Has anybody went and listened to August album?
No,
I haven't.
But August is nice though. I'll give him that. He's nice.
So I'm saying he's not. I've been busy. I haven't listened to him.
Yeah,
I haven't. I heard it's fire though.
I was nice.
I can see another movie coming out of this. I can see
a movie,
Jada, either Jada or Will in a movie, or maybe not even them in the movie, like something else. Somebody else acting in the movie, and it's about their story. I can see that happening for sure. Like some type of.
That's fine. Yeah, of course, Hollywood capitalizing on it.
They can have Tyler Perry directed. Tyler Perry are good for that shit.
You can name it The Entanglement.
Sound like a Disney movie.
So clever, Brent. So clever. Anyways,
understand it is.
To another clever idea that people are doing right in front of your eyes. Seems like Wayfair is getting away with selling regular cabinets for $10,000. Man, I think it's a little suspicious to have regular cabinets for $10,000. But if you've been on social media, if you've seen the TikToks, if you've seen these different media posts that have been kind of telling on Wayfair for what they've been doing in plain sight, and these $10,000 cabinets are actually you're supposed to be young girls that are selling online for these $10,000, and they said if you put in the UPC number, it takes you to the little girls, and all that good stuff. I don't know if you guys looked into it, but what have you guys heard about this?
All that good stuff, really?
I looked into it. It's may not be true. So I looked into it, and if you look at some of the social media posts that they got out there, where they're linking to articles of like girls missing and stuff like that. If you actually look up some of those stories, those girls have been found or they like went home and stuff. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily true. That's not to say that it couldn't happen, right? I'm kind of a conspiracy theory kind of person, but I'm not saying that they aren't doing it, but I'm saying that if you actually fact check the stories that have been coming out, they don't actually have any water behind them.
So why does the CEO step down?
Why did what?
I mean, that's coinky dink stuff. Everything can all get turned into a conspiracy, bro.
Nah, ain't no goddamn
you know what he doing.
Why
no
the
goddamn
CEO step down? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
he's
saying.
doing.
Like what I'm saying, if the CEO is stepping down, there has to be something behind it. You don't just step down from a CEO position just because.
Again,
We're in a pandemic. Well, obviously, we're obviously in a pandemic. He's trying to make sure he don't get sick. Obviously,
there are a lot of reasons that could happen.
Nah, bro.
I'm kidding. Obviously, yes. There we go. That's the farthest that you can reach. Yes, shorty.
2 hands.
I'm sitting down. We all can reach the same thing.
No, my arms are definitely longer.
Speak for yourself, sir.
About that, sir.
Speak for yourself.
Don't know about that. Don't know about that. Yeah.
But anything else we got to say on the Wayfair situation? Are we going?
I just think if the CEO is stepping down, there's a lot more behind it.
I'm just saying, a CEO of any company, I'm pretty sure they're the highest paid person at that company. Why all of a sudden are you stepping down? It's a little bit more to the story that's not getting reported. So if I'm CEO of Wayfair, them niggas getting money if they selling cabinets for $10,000. I ain't stepping down for that. So it's a little bit more to not been reported. So
I mean, just my philosophy on that. If it's not true, say that. Right? If there's no weight behind it, say
they've already said it.
It's not that easy.
They already said it, bruh. Go Google and pull up articles. There are plenty of articles out now where they've come out and they've said like, okay, the article
even if it is true,
right, but the description was wrong and stuff like that.
It could be true. It could not be true. They would never say, yes, this is true. They're always going to deny it and say, no, this is like, there ain't nobody going to be complicit actively like that.
I agree 100%.
This is directly to you, Brett. You got to read between the lines. You got
shut your ass up.
Please, shut the hell up. Damn. Anyway, besides Greg need to shut the hell up, another person that might need to shut the hell up is Kanye West with this whole 2020 trying to get chose for 2020 presidency and whatnot. Man, Chance the Rapper had come out recently and said that he trusts Kanye West more than Joe Biden. How do you guys feel about, one, Kanye could maybe run the world, and two, do you trust Kanye more than Joe Biden?
I don't trust none of them niggas.
Yay 2020.
Define trust,
but by default,
hit his motherfucker break.
Over communicating ass nigga right here.
I'm just saying, I don't.
Come on, dude.
I'm being honest. I don't trust
anybody in politics. This goofy ass nigga. Google trust.
I don't trust anybody in politics. I'm sorry, I don't.
Exactly. Just say that. Just say you don't trust people.
That's I trust. I don't trust. I believe. Do you define trust as I believe they're going to do the right thing? No, absolutely not.
But you trust that he's going to be able to run the country is what you're saying.
Do I believe that he will be able to run the country? Is that what you're asking me?
Basically, we're saying, do we trust Biden or Ye more to run the country?
I don't trust anybody to run the country at this point.
So the country not going to have a leader.
Thank you for your great answer.
So the country not going to have a leader.
Do I believe that they're going to do everything they say? No, I don't. I don't believe anything anybody says. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, like for real. Like, how many times do we go through? Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and they never do it, or they do something completely opposite, and then you get.
But that's why I always tell people that they got to do the research, because, of course, people are going to say they're going to do something for you, but what does their track record say for you?
Yeah,
right.
And I guess
not even just so much that
with Kanye, he was saying like, y'all are trusting Joe Biden when Joe Biden has done a lot of things in the past with like the crime bill and stuff like that is not for African American people. So what Chance is trying to say is, why is it that y'all are going to put your faith in this guy who has proven not to be for the African American community, other than he was Barack Obama's running mate? And it seems like that's what everybody.
Barack Obama's bitch, pretty much.
But it's like he's saying there's more to it than that. And he did, if you read all the tweets, he pointed to Kanye doing stuff in the community. He pointed to what Kanye does in Chicago, stuff like that. So it's like, I'm not going to say on face value what Chance was saying was Kanye doing stuff at the same time. He points to what Kanye does in Chicago, stuff like that. So it's like, I'm not going to say on face value.
Got a little bit of echo back there, which you is. Check that out for me, please. I'm gonna mute you right quick. But yeah, I mean, like Ish is saying, I 100% agree on what he's saying when it comes to Kanye might look out for the black community more than Joe Biden. I also say this. Let's just say Kanye get into politics and it's just the same old thing. Is Kanye get into politics and only, does what's best for their people, as in the Republican side or the Democratic side, and don't care about the rest of the people. So it don't matter who you have in position. It matters. What needs to matter. What needs to happen is that people be put in a position to help out the greater good.
Right.
Greg?
You said Greg or Brett?
Greg, you got anything to say?
Really, honestly, I feel like this is just Kanye being Kanye. He's probably about to come out with something. I know recently he's been on some positive stuff. Got a new deal with Gap. He allegedly helped out George Floyd's family, daughter, or something like that. Gave them some money towards college and a little money towards the family. So I just think Kanye just on this this nice little wave, and he's just doing whatever he got to do to stay relevant in the news. Even though he's been relevant in the news, but he's just trying to be more clickbaitish right now. So Chance the Rapper just adding to it. I don't really think too much into it. As far as the question is concerned, do I trust Kanye more than Joe Biden? By default, I'm gonna say yes, because I don't really give a shit about Joe Biden, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. I think he's probably a nice guy. He's probably a nice guy to have a beer with or play beer pong with. But other than that, I don't give a shit about Joe Biden. I really don't. I really don't. So by default, I'm gonna say yes, but it's not really like a strong yes. It's like kind of like a lesser of two evils.
Well, we appreciate you for keeping it real out here on out here on Kinfolk, Sports Club will be on tomorrow. But Kinfolk, like I said, we definitely appreciate you for keeping it real, because that's pretty much, I think, how the younger generation is feeling right now when it comes to politics. We're not really, seeing any progress the way we want to see it. So what's the point of us young folks putting, you older folks that don't care about us in positions to, make y'all's pockets fatter?
Yeah, but here's a question that I want to bring to the group. So with people like Chance the Rapper, I don't know if he's the only person right now, but if more people like Chance the Rapper come out and support Kanye, how many votes do you think that takes away from Joe Biden? And do you think that makes Kanye? Do you think that makes people take Kanye more serious, I guess? Not necessarily older people, but like younger people. What do y'all think? I mean, that's an honest concern I have.
I don't know if it technically makes him actually more serious. It might make him seem more serious, but I think it'll definitely take away the votes, because people in general, I think regardless of whatever lifestyle you come from or background, they're so infused with whatever area of hip hop or black culture, whatever you want to call it, that it is. So people like Chance the Rapper, people like Kanye West, that have a heavy influence in the music on people's actual lives, some people's spiritual influence, religious influence, things of the sort. They will go they will go to war for Kanye. You know what I mean? Like they will literally.
He got his own little cult.
Same thing with Chance, and I feel like that's kind of detrimental, especially because they have a very high percentage opportunity to, whether they do it on purpose, intentionally or unintentionally, they could abuse that on their platform, and it could just lead us down a path that's even more detrimental than where we are now, because people will want to cling on to it and hold on to it so much. They already don't want to let go of a lot of stuff currently. So I don't think that unless they really stick to the ideals and the values and the goals that they say that they're going to embody and help us, and people right now they want to see change fast. They want to see it quick. They don't want to wait. They're tired of hearing people talk and not follow up with the same actions. Talk the talk, walk the walk. People say it all the time. Everybody knows that saying, you know. And I think that's kind of where people are now. But at the same time, I think they're still a little bit clouded, a little bit blinded, and really don't know what to do or where to go, and haven't had the proper representatives to give them that. So, you know, if they see that person, whether it be Kanye, Chance, someone of that sort, yes, I think that, you know, it's probably going to be a wrap for Joe Biden, but I don't think that's going to be the best outlook for the country overall. And unfortunately, it will make them look probably more serious than they actually are. But we'll just kind of have to wait and see once things get rolling if they're actually serious, and if, you know, we really can take them for what they say they are. We'll just have to, you know, I guess we'll see.
So no, I definitely agree on that now.
If Kanye is on the ballot right now, who's voting for him? Out of right now.
No, I'm not.
I'm not voting for that nigga.
Yeah. No.
You're going.
I can't do it.
You go into the poll right now. It's either Biden or Kanye. Who's voting for Kanye?
I'm not going through the polls.
I'm just saying, who's voting for Kanye?
Well, I'm happy you bring up voting because I'm happy you bring up voting because the question is, did you vote today? No, that's
I'm going with Israel.
Did you vote today? Because we had a Texas primaries, and that's a big deal. If you want to make a change, right? If you want to make a change, go ahead and vote. So the question is, did you guys vote today?
We're not there yet.
In the middle.
That man Brett said we're not there yet.
Right there.
We're right here.
Who's right here? No. I'm being like serious though. Who raise your hand if you're voting for Kanye right now?
We all just said no.
Yeah, okay. Ain't nobody voting for Kanye, bro.
Like, why are you just trying to bring it up?
because Greg's answer was by default yes.
He trusts Kanye more.
Yes, but if you're not
naturally, see,
you can trust somebody. You can trust a person and not want them to run the country.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils is what I said also. So they both suck. So I choose the less sucky person. Trusting. Voting.
Who are you voting for though? Wouldn't you vote for the person you trust more?
Not necessarily.
I mean, not at all. Yeah, logically speaking, yeah, but I mean, voting is not exactly logically all the time. People don't vote logically.
Not necessarily.
If it has to do with the American government, I don't trust it.
So. Why would you not vote somebody you trust? Vote for somebody you trust more. Out of the two.
Well, there are a number of reasons why people wouldn't do that.
Like what?
Okay, so there are a lot of people. Let's take the primaries this year, for example. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people who their number one candidate who they trust or who they supported might have been Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders or whoever. Name a Democrat, right?
Joe Jurgensen.
But just because that's your candidate, just because that's who you trust, doesn't necessarily mean you go in and vote for them, because you may not think that they have a strong enough chance to win, and you want to throw your weight behind somebody that may possibly have a chance that you think if I have to pick between the two people who are the front runners, I'm going to pick this person. So there are a lot of reasons why in an election, you don't always vote for the person you trust or you support 100%.
So if a lot of people have that same mindset of my vote isn't going to count for the person that I want, really, and they sway to another person, if more people thought that I'm going to vote for who I trust, do you think that would shift things, or do you think not?
No, because a lot of people are so fixated on the political parties more than anything, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, just be completely honest. People are just still so fixated on, I'm going to vote Republican no matter what. I'm going to vote Democrat no matter what. They can have the worst policies and they still going to vote for them, bro. Like, that's how brainwashed a lot of these older generational people are when it comes to voting. And they are the ones that's messing this country up more than anything. So I'll say that repeatedly.
Hold on, Greg. Hold on. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Okay. But let's say, I don't know, voting in the Democratic Party then, or the Republican Party, whatever.
You still have a divide in there, because so on the Democratic side, there are moderates and there are liberals, right? So if you're a liberal leaning person, and let's say you wanted Elizabeth Warren to win, but you knew that it was either between Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden, then you may have to go with Bernie Sanders because at least he represents the liberal ideals rather than Joe Biden, who represents moderates. So that's the problem. Like you're assuming in your situation that everybody is 100% educated on all of the candidates and that everybody is going in there thinking like, okay, my candidate is going, if everything was equal, everybody's going for who they trust. My candidate probably has a potential to win. So I'm going to go with that person.
And then also the piggyback of what X said, I'm pretty sure everybody would kind of piggyback off everybody, obviously. But I want to say that a lot of times, especially with Black people, we're kind of forced into the Democratic Party. You know?
Nope.
So
if you're Black, you gotta vote. You gotta vote for Democrat.
Like even today I went to go vote to answer the question, did you vote today? I did. All the Black people voted Democrat. All of them. Older, younger, middle-aged, whatever you want to define that as, every African-American person in the building was on the Democratic side voting.
How you know that? You think they ballot?
Because they separate them by party.
And on top of that, it goes back to the point I said a little bit ago. Black people are forced without their own will to be a part of the Democratic Party.
That's not true.
So that goes against what it kind of goes with Ishmael was saying. A lot of people don't have the education, right? So they just force that into the Democratic Party. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, but that's where people like, you know, the person that my wife can't stand, Candace Owens. That's where people like that come in, where they're trying to say, hey guys, you can go outside of the Democratic Party. Now, whether or not her beliefs are good, people should listen to her, whatever. I'm not here to say that go listen to her or promote her. But what I'm saying is it's not necessarily true that Black people are forced within the Democratic Party. Really, you can find a candidate. I don't see what's wrong with us finding a third party candidate and going with a third party candidate.
Because they're not going to win
in our community. But what I'm saying is, if we have somebody in our community that is willing to stand up, run for on our platform and say, this is what I want to do, why can't we support them? Because the Black vote is very important to the Democratic Party. That's why every 4 years, the Democratic Party comes up with some reason why you need to go vote for Democrat and why the Republicans are so evil. Why can't we have somebody in our community run on a platform that's for the community and the community support them?
Well, I got a question. I got something to say that it does cost $1 billion to run for president.
Unfortunately,
so that's one factor.
I'm not necessarily talking about president though. I'm talking about in your community, like the people in your community. Just like in Texas, we said today, Texas had generals, right? So why can't we have people in Texas, in Houston, running for mayor, running for alderman, running for those positions that are going to affect the people around you?
Nobody's thinking like that. Nobody's coming up in these communities to say, I need to run for mayor. I need to run and do something on city council. I need to be on the Supreme Court or the school board or whatever. Like, people aren't coming up and saying that. We're saying it now because we're looking at hindsight of what we went through and what we're trying to achieve now and how we can do better for those coming after us so that they won't have to go through the shit we went through and the generation before us, so on and so on. So unfortunately, people are coming up in these environments, whether it be people of color or not, and they are already disproportionately not being educated on thinking in that manner, because you already see that. You need to be focused on trying to go to school or get a job or play a sport or whatever the case may be.
Be an employee, pretty much. Being an employee,
being a productive citizen and living the American dream. You don't need to worry about being a mayor, being a governor, being a president. We got that shit. You know what I mean? Nobody's really thinking about that until they do break out of that cycle. And then when you break out of that cycle, you're like, well, damn, how many motherfuckers can I convince to, all right, since y'all already doing y'all shit, y'all not about to be lawyers and shit, well, maybe I can educate y'all to use y'all's resources now to come together so that we can start making change around the little parts that we can. That way, there's something in place for the next generation coming, and you got people that's going to keep the standard going the way that it needs to be. But until we can really do that, because all that's ever really been done for a long time is just people talking about it, because unfortunately, when we were doing that, things were getting destroyed, groups were getting infiltrated, people were getting killed, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So that creates what? A fuck ton of fear, a fuck ton of complacent ass Negroes that don't want to do shit because we don't even realize, you know what I mean, like what we've been through. But on that note, I digress.
So, question: Do you think that Kanye is doing that?
Doing what?
He can't be the figure that you use. He can't be the figure that you use. Okay. Not saying that Kanye doesn't do a lot of great things in his community. Not saying that he may be genuine in his approach, right? He may actually want to see good and do good. He can't be the person that you use, only because he has done a lot of things that detract from the message and detract from his own platform. He has too many complications in his situation for him to be the person that you want to use as like that's what he's trying to do. And he shouldn't be running for president.
I have somebody.
Who? Right.
Go, Brett.
No. My next question is okay. So, what type of person would you say? And that's why I'll let you go.
Hell to the no. Hell to the no. For me, again, if we have a business-minded like person right now that's running the country, that people like him because of his business, mindset type of, thinking. Yeah. I like somebody like a Jay Morrison. I like somebody like an Anthony O'Neill, somebody that's younger in our age that has that type of, productive thinking and also have the backing of being able to control money at a small way, and then also know their landscape. You have people that are from, Anthony O'Neill from Tennessee. Don't quote me on Jay Morrison, but for what he's doing out here in Houston, building his building out here in Houston, it just goes to show you. And it's not just him. You have other people out here in the United States, black men or black women as well, that are out here doing great things with money, and lots of it that don't get the same notoriety that are probably better businessmen than Donald Trump. But we need somebody like, those people to step up and say, hey, I want to do more than just, make money. I can inspire people as well with my money by being in a political office and doing what Ishmael was saying, being that person to be the leader of a third party and have the backing, being able to have the backing because he or she is able to have that business entity that allows them to have that type of money.
So what is it going to take then to start doing that? I know what Napoleon said, like we start building up the young generation, but like, let's say like you have somebody in mind right now. So what would it take with somebody like him, do you think, to actually step out and do that?
I mean, it's on him. I mean, I really don't understand the question you're asking me. Like, I can't. It's like me bringing a horse to water. I mean, leading a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's pretty much what that is. It's like, I understand where you're coming from, Brett, but we can beg him, we can plead. But if he says no, I'm trying to make money, then ain't nothing we can do.
That I agree. But what I'm saying is like that type of person, like what you said, that type of person who like we see that type of that model. What I'm trying to say, that mold. There we go. A person that we see that can be in that situation, right? Like, how do we start getting those people like to start stepping up into office?
I'll tell you, my bad. I'm sorry to cut you off. The people that are over 16, 18 years old, it's a wrap for them. You got to start with the younger generation. You got to start with the kids, because the ones that are already quote unquote programmed, like us, like it's hard for us to break out of certain habits and certain cycles because it's already ingrained. You might be right, but I'm just saying it's a lot easier to start off with a 6 or 7, 8-year-old to ingrain their mindset into thinking that they can be able to be, that person, to be that political figure, than it is to explain to a 29, 35-year-old. That's all I'm saying.
Long term, I understand what you're saying. Like long term wise, yes, you're right. We need to be better about mentoring the younger kids in our community to let them know that they can go and do those things. And if they want to strive for those things, they can have it. Now, what you're saying as far as like 18-year-olds and kids who are in high school or kids who are in college right now, there may be some kids that are in college right now that aspire to be a president one day or whatever, right? What it takes is for more people to have these kind of conversations and for us to get it out there so that our community starts to talk more about this, so that we start to empower some of those people that are in college, who are in high school, who want to do something like this, get in politics. We need to inspire them and say, hey, if you have the platform, if this is what you aspire to, we will back you. Right now it's hard because what we see in our community is we have some of these kids that want to do these things and we don't support them or we don't back them. Like we're not giving them that passion to say, you know what, this is what you really want to do. You want to be a politician? I support you. I will help donate to your fund. I will help run with you. I will go door to door and knock on doors for you. Are you going to be doing that? Are you willing to do that? Like if people in this room, amongst our group right here, I'm asking you guys, if we had some person that we went to high school with that came up, let's look at Gerard, right? Gerard is a lawyer.
Yeah.
He went to school. He's very educated, a lawyer now, right? If Gerard Stevens got up and said, I want to run for office, are you guys going to go knock on doors for Gerard Stevens?
Absolutely, I will. I'm about to put on my motherfucking
see, and that's what
my bow tie.
And you better hold them to it too.
And that's what it takes.
Right.
That's what it takes. We need to be able to do that for some of these young people who are educated and want to do that. When they say they want to do it, we need to ride for them and step out for them. If they say they want to do it, then dude, don't be the person that's like, oh yeah, we need more people on our platform, running for our platform. And then when they start running, you like, it's nice that he's running. Like, no, go sell out for him. You know he running on your platform. Go sell out for that man. Go knock on doors. Go out there. Go cold call people. You know, send your money. Don't be the person that's like, oh, I'm not gonna give my money to him. No, send your money to him. Give him.
But see, we got to be the OGs. We're gonna have to be the OGs to step up to the plate and really like use our shit that we have once we take control of all this shit to help the young niggas, because we ain't gonna really be able to run shit, but we're gonna have some shit to help the next generation be able to take over some shit. You feel me?
That's not true. You could run right now if you wanted to.
Bet. Well, I'm about to, you know what I'm talking about? Go ahead and run then. Fuck with these niggas.
Hop on that mug.
You could run in your local, community if you want to. You could be you could be city council. You could be school board.
Oh yeah. Hey, as a matter of fact,
your boy, we about to be on it.
To the OGKD, because he actually was trying to get into getting on the city council because he had his church behind him and some other situations and whatnot, but nevertheless that didn't work out. But yeah, so it's definitely attainable. I think we just gotta push to do that shit. And even us now, maybe the time is to change the direction of the things that we're actually trying to do with ourselves and our lives. Because yes, we know we're gonna be all right. We're gonna do what we need to do to take care of ourselves. But are we going to continue to sit here and be complicit in letting the world burn and sit here and do what? Just watch it go down? Because we're gonna go down with it. So if we don't step up and do something about it, then
I'm going to Africa.
Then fuck it, we're gonna let that motherfucker burn.
I'm going with
burn, baby.
I also will say this. I agree with what everybody was saying. And just to go off what Ishmael was saying in regards to support, I mean, we definitely need to get out of that crab in the bucket mentality. Like you're saying, we need to push the crabs up out of the bucket. Don't pull them back down. Oh, we see them doing something. Let's push them out the motherfucking bucket and let's get them to a platform that they need to get to in order to get into these offices and change some shit. So
I see it like this. It's not just, of course, it's politics, it's sports, it's business, usually when one person makes it, that other person that makes it should be able to bring. I don't want to say should, but if y'all boys like. All the stories I hear from a lot of my older generation, football player guys I hear all the time is, man, I was able to get that look because I was on somebody else's film, or because such and such was a friend of mine, or because such and such, he looked out for me. Like we all know these stories. Ish, the stories. Brett, the stories. So a lot of times people are found because they were either overlooked, and then all of a sudden somebody found them, like, oh man, I found a diamond in the rough. And we have to do that from time to time. With like I said, the crab in the barrel. You got to get these crabs up out of here so they can get to get more people out of the crab boat. That's just how it is.
So
anybody got anything else to say about it?
Yeah. So what things as a Black community do we support?
I don't know. What do you support?
I'm saying
a broad question. I mean, you asking broad questions, guys.
Well, because this can be a broad answer, right? So, like, there's, because we always see, people who do things and we're like, oh, well, I don't know if you can really do that. Like, as a Black community is what I'm saying. Like, there's always, I feel like in the Black community, like we're bringing each other down, is what I'm saying. A lot of times.
That's emotional. That's emotional trauma through our generational pain because we know why. We're gonna leave that for another day. And that's also because that's how we cope as Black people. We flame each other up, and then we hee ha ha, and then we keep it moving and talk about it later.
So crab in the bucket mentality.
Crab in the bucket and that follow the mass mentality, to follow the group mentality.
I think every race does that. I don't think it's just a Black thing.
Right.
We talking about Black people though. Fuck them other people. Talking about Black people.
Relax.
Saying
now.
We understand.
My
There's
question
no hate here, but fuck them.
Is that like, as a whole, can you guys think of anything that we like?
Better school funding.
Support?
Better school funding.
Okay, so
we need to fix the school funding system. The school funding system as it is now it does not help us at all.
And let me tell you about that bitch Betsy DeVos. That dirty bitch.
Hey, that's the whole other. Hey, we're not gonna get on Betsy. We're not gonna get on Betsy right now. I got
a word for that rotten bitch, Betsy.
Oh my gosh.
We don't have time for her.
You got him started.
We don't have time for her.
All right. Well, speaking of Betsy, we all know where she resides, out in the Washington, D.C. area. So speaking of Washington, D.C., what would the new team for the Washington Redskins be? When I say new name for the Washington Redskins would be, sound like we might have the Red Wolves, the Red Tails, the Warriors, different names that have been thrown out there. What do you guys think?
I like Red Tails.
They probably shouldn't use anything red.
I mean, that I do agree as well.
Yeah, why not? Why? Because of the Redskin logo? I mean, because of that. Hold on. Are y'all having a problem with the Redskin logo or just red in general? Because if you change the logo, it's not red. It's not Redskin. It's just the color red is fine, correct?
They gonna figure out a way to still be offended, bro. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
no, but that's what I was gonna. Okay, that's what I was gonna get at. So if us as Black folks say, yeah, Red Tails is fine, but you have white people that would say, well, that's not fair. You celebrating the Tuskegee Airmen. You celebrating Black greatness. What about white greatness? What about my drive? What about my drive, though? I mean, that's where people gonna come in and say it took my drive.
Well, if that's the case, you can go with some of the other ones like the Patriots. Right, the Patriots are generationally white, right? And so, what's wrong with having one team out of 32 that's promoting something from the culture?
You want me to tell you the honest truth?
What?
No, because I know it's going to sound hard, and it's going to be hard for people to hear and take this, but when it comes to the white population, when they feel threatened, as in like something is taken away from them, they feel like everything is taken away from them. So what I mean by that is just because Michael Jordan, LeBron James is making money doesn't mean everybody in the world in the Black United States making money, but they make it seem like, okay, these guys are making money, so the Black community is fine. We don't need the Black community is fine. It's us. We need more money. We the ones that need saving. But in reality, their money, the wealth is such a big gap that they think that having $250,000 in the bank is hurting. Us, we think Black folk, we think, hey, we can make it come up. So from what I just feel like that's one of the biggest things is just the pettiness of going back and forth of the name. They just need to stick with an animal. I think Red Wolves is fine. You won't hurt anybody. You won't offend anybody. You just pay off with Arkansas. Well, I think it was Arkansas team.
Yeah, Arkansas State.
There you go. Pay off Arkansas State, and you go from there. But if you do Red Tail, I think it just opens up more can of worms for people to cry about.
Yeah, Red Wolves is probably the best bet.
All I know is it better not be Warriors. It better not be Warriors. That shit sounds corny.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
don't do Warriors.
It's gonna be the Warriors.
Corny as fuck.
If you go with Red Wolves, normally that's a regional thing, right? Are there Red Wolves in Washington
DC? I don't fucking know. It's a good Google search, my friend. Though I know that.
No, nigga. No.
But I swear to God, Brett be coming out with these most illogical ass questions.
What do you mean? That's a valid question.
You know what? How about you be the researcher and you go research it and come get back to us with the details and shit? How about you
X
do
has
that?
been the one on Google, so why do I have to Google it?
I ain't researching that a goddamn
This
thing.
is a community effort, sir.
Well, all I'm saying
That's not even something worth Googling, though, bro.
I think
DC, bro. Just not.
I think that Red Wolves is more of a reach because, like, I don't know.
It's the safer bet, to be honest. I mean,
it is safer, but I feel like they can be more creative.
Probably, but fuck them.
You really like overthinking it.
Brett, what creativity are you looking for from them?
I'm saying red tails, I think would. I mean, yes, it opens up, like, I guess a can of worms or whatever. But like Red Wolves, I feel like is just, I don't know. That's just my
Red Wolves is not creative. Red Tails,
corny, bro. All this shit is corny as fuck.
It is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not corny. But what I'm saying
it's not a great name. It's not a great. It's definitely not original by any means.
Yeah,
not at all.
At all.
Corny fuck.
But like if they go with Red Wolves, like are. I mean,
what if they just go with the Washington Reds?
What about the Washington Fuckheads? How about that?
I don't think they can do the. I don't think they can do the Washington Reds.
I'm just throwing out suggestions, man.
Oh my god, that's.
I don't think they can do that.
There's already a baseball team, the Reds.
That.
So?
Yeah.
No.
There's football, basketball, and baseball teams. They got the same names too.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah,
Cardinals.
Really?
Like professional teams in the major league.
Tigers, everything. Detroit
Tigers.
No. That's not what I said. Who? I said you said baseball, basketball, and football. Which three major sports?
Detroit Tigers. What other major league? Like the top leagues in the U.S. have Tigers as their name.
So U.S.
Tigers.
I said basketball.
I was about to, and again, I'm about to name them. If y'all give me a second, shut up.
Don't Google it. No, don't Google it, sports guy. Don't do it.
I ain't Googling nothing. I don't need to Google anything.
Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing to that. Nothing.
You done?
No.
Are you done?
I can keep going if you want. I keep going.
All right.
I'm not.
Wait, Greg, please let him finish, please.
Yeah, he go.
All right. So there are other
Share
teams out here with the same name.
Share your screen.
I said it. All three major sports.
Exactly. There is no overlapping in major sports.
I didn't say that. You don't give me a chance to finish what I was saying. I was saying that there are in the three sports, there are teams with the same name out of the 2 out of 3. So football, basketball, or baseball and basketball, or basketball and football, whatever it is. I didn't say all 3. That's what y'all said. Thank you very much. Keep going.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate on which team?
Well, the great thing about that is that I can elaborate next week on next week's episode of Kinfolk and Nem, because we about to revel this episode right quick.
I like how you dance right about there.
Well, like I said, we'll see y'all next week.
Questions over there. We'll
see y'all next week on Kinfolk and Nem. Well, we'll actually be broadcasting live from our new social media pages. And in the descriptions of our YouTube page, we'll have all of our social media pages in the bottom Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. See you guys next week at Kinfolk and Nem.
This man really wrapped up the show.
Head ass shit right there, boy.
All right. See y'all later.
This nigga's a